What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another review here on the channel. This time, we got Willow, the first season. I'm not sure if they're going to get more, but at least the first season we're talking about. And an interesting show, obviously. I think going in, we did react to all the episodes. It'll be down in the description if you're interested. But I know you're a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. Both came in on this series. I think, done by Lucasfilm, George Lucas's, original entity back in I believe the 80s or something like that. So the movie, right? So that's all we've had really. Willow. I think they might add some books. I think that's pretty much the only thing.
Willow?
Yeah, I think so. They might have. They might have. Yeah. So, but now, like looking back, going into the series, like, how did you feel compared to coming out now?
I had no idea what I was expecting, to be honest. But I was really glad that it was like original work. It wasn't like taken from anything. I know it's the same guy that makes Star Wars, but he put that kind of Star Wars twist into the Lord of the Rings kind of scene.
Yeah. That fantasy world, yeah. I see,
Yeah, no, and it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, oh yeah, very interesting. I think, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, going in, like, I was tempered expectations. Like, I was interested. Like, I think I was, like, interested in what this could be. Especially because it was George's kind of stuff. I don't think he was involved in any of this. I don't even know if he would have wanted this to continue. Because I know his opinions on Star Wars and stuff. But it's interesting. Like, we had our thoughts throughout the series. I think the first episode was a really good start, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of went stale for a while. And then at that finale, it kind of popped back up. I don't know what your opinion is. Like,
yeah, like, it was
the progression.
It was good, but then, like, slowly, like, it was like up and down, up and down.
It dragged a lot.
You didn't like it. You liked it. You didn't like it. But in the end, it finished really well.
Yeah, but did it drag a little too much during that for you to think, if you weren't watching this just because you're like, oh, I'm gonna watch it all, would it have maybe deterred you or somebody like to stop watching it altogether?
No, I think since I'm already watching it and since I like this kind of stuff, I wouldn't stop. I'd want to see how it turns out, and I'm glad we kept going, right? So.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I feel like there's people that would have dropped out. I think just being like, okay, like, whatever, right? Like, I'll move on, stop watching it. But I'm glad we finished it. I think it was one of those things. Like, yeah, like, I think you just gotta wait till it finishes. I think watch it as like a complete story first, right, before you just judge it. Like, it's almost like judging a book's cover before you actually, like, read the whole book. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of applies to this and stuff. I remember hearing, like, going into the finale week, I've seen articles pop up, like, on Willow, where it was like, Willow is an abomination. Like, I heard shit like that. Really? So yeah, I mean, that was a headline. I don't know. It was just a headline, right? So I don't really know. I didn't really read it, but I think I understand why people might be bored and stuff. But I think, I don't know. I think, well, like, since we're kind of talking that type of sort of thing, like, the negatives in the show, like, specifically, like, mine was the music. It was big thing. Like, it was like the aspect of them having this, like, you mentioned as like a chick flick, like, type of song at one point, but, like, all this music, like, it's almost like you're watching Star Wars. Like, you would never expect to hear Dua Lipa in the end credits. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something you would hear. You know what I mean? It's not the vibe. Like, you see the intro of Lucasfilm, you hear the little tune, right? And you're like, and the book opening before every episode. You don't expect to hear some rock music or some, like, some pop, right? Like, that's not what I would expect. I don't know how you feel, but
I agree where you're coming from, and I like the songs that they play, but in this kind of
setting
series, like, it makes you not want to take it seriously.
Right.
When you hear this music. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
it's like when you see these,
that's my opinion.
It's like you see these monsters and stuff. It's not supposed to be that fun. I mean, like, Borman is like a really, like, jokes character in the show and stuff, and, like, when you bring him in, like, it feels that Disney-fied part of it, where, like,
having a character with, like, a funny personality is another thing, but putting in music that doesn't go along with the actual setting of the whole series, it just doesn't.
It can throw it off, right?
It doesn't tie well.
Take you out of the moment a little bit,
right?
It
doesn't tie well at all.
Because, like, I understand what they were going for. I understand it's like that hip sort of thing, like, kind of like not take it too seriously. But I think, like, in a show like that, like, would you like that in Lord of the Rings? No, like, it wouldn't make any fucking sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like what the hell? You know what I mean? It's just like I expected. Like, I understand, like, to have. I don't mind some of the comedy. Like, I mean, like, if I had to pick, like, Borman's comedy, I would have scaled that down half. I think, like, it's fine. I like it, but, like, And it is funny, we're laughing to it, but I think like if you cut that down in half, maybe, I think that's a proper amount. And then like none of that music, get a nice score, you know, bring in that sort of moment and stuff. I think that just would have been better, I think. But I understand the modern approach. I just don't agree with it. But you all can sound off in the comments what you think. But I think, yeah, that was the only big gripe for me. Other than that and dragging it along for the sake of television, I think this would have been a good movie. Like imagine they condense it into movie form. You know, like with the movies we watch, they fast pace everything, right? And they kind of have to crunch it in. This felt like it was scaled out for TV, right? And stuff. And even during the series, you remember like we were talking going into episode 7, we're like, are they even gonna save Eric? Like where are we going here?
Yeah, we were talking about that.
So like, you know, I mean that's also a thing too, but what were the good things about the show though?
I like Alora, how she like learned a lot from knowing nothing to like making it seem like she couldn't make it.
Yeah.
To the point where she was like really powerful and she can finally control it and everything, and hopefully in the next season she can control it more and more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like the development of her character.
Yeah.
Because and I've seen her got a lot more serious.
She matured.
A lot. Yeah.
She found her maturity and she finally fucking just said,
yeah,
I gotta do this.
And especially because like again Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, she was kind of starting to remind me of like Rey, which, you know, nothing against Daisy Ridley, the actress. It's just like I just hated the progression of the fucking character, but and they never really showed how, because it's actually kind of a similar situation because they were propping Rey to be the most powerful Jedi or being or whatever, right? And she is the most powerful, right? Alora, right, as well. So the fact that they showed her progress and showed her get better, show her getting mentored, failing, and then, you know, see training with Willow there, like that just shows the progression of it. So I'm actually satisfied with that personally, because the opposite of Rey being pretty much handed out all these powers that Luke had to like completely work for, and Anakin too, like, and just like not make sense progression. Like there's a progression, especially with 3 movies. That's a lot of time, right? So it's like I think they did her character justice with Laura, I think, as well. So yeah, and I did like the setting too. I think the CGI was all right. Like I think it was solid. Like I think it wasn't the best thing I ever seen. I think, but it was good.
No, I liked it.
I love like the colors and stuff, like the fading gradients.
The
and
makeup
stuff.
was done really well too.
Yeah.
Even that, what was that creature called?
The Madmander?
The Mudmander.
I
Or
always
whatever the
said
hell it was
Mud,
called. I like the
eyes and stuff.
The animatronics on it.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
Really nice.
I feel like we didn't see enough creatures and stuff. That was one thing too. Would have liked to see more of the Mystique, right?
Yeah.
That would have been nice. But what did you think about like Willow? Like Willow back, like that character, obviously, like him, like was he everything you would have thought he was? Like
yeah, he played the character well. He had a few cringy parts that were just whatever, I just kind of ignored. But
I like him as an actor though.
He
had a good performance. I liked him. Obviously, I think that cringy part comes with the Disney-fied type of stuff, I guess.
Course.
Right? And we do with this with Marvel, right? Like, dude, anybody who watched She-Hulk could probably think the same. So, as we wrap it up, we're just gonna kind of like show our best thoughts about it all. Favorite moment from the series? What are we saying?
Like I said earlier, I just liked how Alora like made herself, how she was like wanting to join the group to find Eric because she was in love and everything, and then learned a lot more other things along the way and got more powerful with her being a sorceress and everything, and learning it from Willow, and then everyone. I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I think a specific moment that I want to highlight that I did like the most, I think, was it was a funny one actually, just the way I even reacted to it, because I didn't really realize what the fuck was going on. It was when Kit and Jade were having that big moment, you remember? You know what I mean, kind of confessing their feelings and shit, and the trolls just come out of fucking nowhere.
Oh yeah.
And just pick her up. That was fucking incredible. I really liked that. That was a bait. That was an episode I really liked, actually. Episode 5. That was a good one. I liked that. So there's a favorite episode. What was it? Like I felt like we kind of came to consensus that it had to be first or finale. I'm guessing. Like
the first one, yeah. I really liked the first one. How it like showed everything, and introduced you into the series. I really like that.
So it'd be the first, right? Yeah. You think so? I think I'd say the last one. I think the finale. I think it was the best one. I think it actually had me like not just sitting back, just like watching it, right? So it kind of got me like into it, sit up. You know what I mean? A lot of confusion at the beginning, obviously, with like the wedding and stuff, being like, "Hey, what the fuck? What is gonna happen here?" And then you kind of go from that to the battle and just learning more, and then the post credit, like just craziness. It was really good stuff. But in terms of wrapping it all up, though, what is your final verdict on a season rating?
Probably altogether, I'll probably do like a 7.
7?
7. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.
Why? Just like the whole thing? Like
Just the whole thing. I liked it, and then there was parts where it dragged and everything, but all in all, it played out really well.
something you'd recommend to a friend?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Be any disclaimer though? Stick through?
Of course.
Stick through it though. Stick through it. Wait, watch it all. Don't just like watch it halfway. Because most time I tell people to watch things, they don't fucking watch it. So yeah. For me, I'm actually maybe a little more critical. I'd say a 6.5 out of 10 for the entire season. I think just, I'm not gonna lie, like 2 to 7. Like, I mean, like I was doing it for the sake of the channel and I wanted to see what happened, but I can see why a lot of people would have stopped watching it.
Yeah.
So I think keeping that in mind, I think did. But I did like how it ended though. I think like the ending saved it 100%, like from being bad. But I think, you know, I think it was an all right series. I think it has potential. I think that's at the end of the day, and it had really good moments in between. I think that's like really my verdict on it. I think the fact that it's an abomination, a little bit of a stretch, but I think you know, I can see why people would be upset about it. I think, like, you know, especially if you're a big fan of the original movie. Like, I mean, I wasn't like a huge fan of Star Wars guys, so yeah. But I know you're a big fantasy guy though. Where's this compared for you? Like, out of all that shit you watch, you know, like,
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite, but it's up there for like being a good fantasy.
good fantasy, yeah. But that's pretty much it. It's not near the top.
It's not like I would like watch it all the time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I watch Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, but no, this is up there.
Another piece of George, obviously. Would love to hear what he has to say about this all, honestly. He's a pretty, like, very, if you ask him, like, what he actually thinks, like, he'll fucking tell you, like, straight ass shooter. So, I would love to hear what he had to say, but I don't think he's going to really comment, probably, unfortunately. But, yeah, no, it was interesting, guys. That pretty much wraps up for our review. Let us know down below, what would you rate all of Willow this first season? Do you think it deserves a second season? We think it does. I think by the end of the day, it's because we want to see what happens, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because like I feel like it'd be incomplete, right? I think just leave it as is. I think so as well. And yeah, just what was your favorite moment out of it? Favorite episode? Was it something that you just enjoyed all the way through? Just let us know down below what your thoughts are. Love to hear. And don't forget, if you did enjoy our review and our reactions to it as well, just leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn that notification bell down below as well. You'll be notified for any other future shows. So Last of Us should be coming up soon. So I don't know when this is coming up, but when I'm gonna upload everything. But yeah, I'm excited for that. It should be pretty fun. A lot of good shows. The beginning of this year is a banger, man. You, Outer Banks, this, you got Your Honor, like so many good shows, man. I mean, when have you remembered a year where it started off so well? Like,
long time.
Yeah, long fucking time, right? Usually this is like the boony time of TV, I feel like, right? But yeah. Anyways, this was a fun show, I think. I think at the end of the day, do you have one word that you can use to describe Willow, in your opinion?
Fantasy.
Fantasy, yeah.
Fantasy, yeah.
Is fantasy at its best, or fantasy just
fantasy at its peak?
At its peak, yeah. I'd say so, yeah. No, for me, I just thought, like, you know, just something that I had more of an expectation or something, but came out with something a little different, I think. So, which is okay, I guess. It just depends how you feel. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. As always, if you watch all of our Willow content, thank you so much. And we'll catch you next time. Later.